Hi, I'm Tony Northrup, and for my Lightroom video training series, I'd like to talk about the face detection feature. This is a feature that's new in Lightroom 6 and Lightroom CC. And if you're the type of person who takes pictures of people, whether they're portraits or just casual pictures of your family, maybe sporting events, face detection can make it very easy to tag people in your photos so that you can quickly find them later. So, when you need to just find a picture from every year of your daughter's life for her high school graduation, you'll be able to simply browse to her name under People and instantly see all the pictures that include her. Of course, you could have done this before using keywords, but this just makes the process a little bit quicker. So let's start first by talking about how to start face detection, because especially if you're wanted to detect faces in your existing photos, it's a process that can take a long time, days or even weeks. You can also start face detection when you import a set of photos, and that'll happen much quicker. Let's jump over to Lightroom. Right here, you can click the identity plate, which will probably show somebody else's name. And you'll see the last item here says face detection, and right now mine is actually working. By default, when you start it up, it will be paused. It won't detect faces until you tell it to. So when you're ready, you can just click that play and it will start to index your photos. It will index your entire catalog when you do it this way. Another way to start detection is to switch to the People view. So the People view is accessed using this little face down here. You can also press the O key on the keyboard. So when I hit O, it jumps into the People view, and the first time you use it, it's going to prompt you to either find faces in the entire catalog in the background, which is what we were doing with the task up there. Your other option is to find faces on an as-needed basis. And when you do that, it will simply find whatever faces you have in the pictures that you have currently selected in the film strip or in whatever collection you have open. In other words, it won't search your entire catalog. So finding faces in the entire catalog takes longer, but it's more thorough. And so I tend to start finding faces in the entire catalog and then come back in a couple of days or a week. But if you just want to get immediate results, go ahead and click on an as-needed basis. So we're already kind of doing that. And there it's just demonstrating what to do with my mouse. You can see it's almost done indexing the existing photos. It's down to 42. So these were pictures taken just at a family party. And you can see it has indeed found quite a few of the faces. Some of these people you might even recognize, like this is my daughter Madeline. And right now it doesn't know anybody's name. That's why on the named people section here, there is 0 photos. Unnamed people, lots of photos. So we'll select some of the people that we recognize, like Madeline here. And I held down the control key to select both those pictures, and I'll go ahead and select more. Now, this particular picture here, you can see there's a stack of 7 pictures. So if I click that to expand it, it shows me 7 pictures that it thinks are the same person. And if I were to name that stack, it would tag Madeline with all of those 7 pictures. But it's a good thing I double checked it, because these 2 pictures are not Madeline. So I'm going to hit the X for those 2 pictures and remove them. So now this stack has only 5 pictures, and indeed they are all Madeline. So I'll click that and control click these other pictures that I know are Madeline, and then just type the name in any one of these boxes, Madeline. So as I do that, now I have a stack on the named people section. So unnamed people down here, named people up here. And now what I can do is drag photos up to that named people section. Let's see if we can find another picture of Madeline. I bet there's another one down here. Okay, so here's one. I can grab that, and I have to kind of make it work its way up. There we go. And drag it in there. So now that 10th picture is in there too. You can also just type the name for each individual person. So I'm going to repeat this process for other people. So here's my nephew Tyler. I'll type his name here. This is Papa Jose. There's my sister-in-law Melissa. Oh, look, Chelsea's there. Let's double check and make sure that it got, yep, those are both Chelsea. So let's see what other pictures of Chelsea we can find in here. Oh, look, there's half of a Chelsea face. So I'll type her name, and now she moves up into the named people section, and I can double click this to view her pictures, and then you can see as I do that, it goes through the rest of the catalog and takes a guess at the faces that it thinks might be her. So if you just wanted to quickly add all your pictures of a particular person, you could jump into named people and double click on them and then look at the suggestions that it finds. Now, if you can't tell, these suggestions are not exceptionally accurate because none of these people are actually Chelsea. And in fact, sometimes you'll come up with random patterns or, you know, the wheel of a car or the leg of a chair. So its suggestions are not great. Sometimes they can actually be helpful though. Sometimes you'll open it up and you'll see a bunch of pictures of the person and you'll be like, oh good, it did a good job at this. But most of the time it's not great. Now, sometimes it helps to get a little more context, and you can double click a picture to get more context and see the actual original picture. And when you do that, or when you open up any picture that has the faces tagged, you can see it's drawing boxes around the faces. You can also see that it shows you down here that it has faces for 4 people total, Chelsea and 3 unnamed people. So I know this is Maya back here, and I could quickly type her name. This is Leah. So as I jump back into the people view, now they're part of the named people group, and I can quickly dig into their photos. When you go to actually look for somebody's photo, you can do it just like you always have. You can use a text filter here and then search for a name, and any pictures that have been tagged will pop right up. So I can double click this picture and you can see, well, I don't even know how it found that one because it didn't actually tag Chelsea's face. But this is a good opportunity to tag a face. So what I did was I clicked the box down here, and now this brings up the tool that allows me to tag faces. So now I can draw a box around Chelsea's face and type Chelsea. In this case, Lightroom did not detect a face. And as you can see, out of 8 people in this picture, it only actually detected this face and this face. It did not, it's not good at picking up faces in profile. So, but you can always go through and drag boxes around faces. If you're hoping that Lightroom is going to find every single face in your pictures, it won't. It finds about 3 out of 4 faces, and it correctly identifies maybe like 20% of them. So it's not a completely automated process, but it's faster than trying to do it manually. It's still a useful tool, even though it might not be quite what you hoped. So I'll jump back to the grid view here. Let's see, one unnamed person. Yeah. So it did find several pictures of Chelsea, but those pictures might have had her name in the metadata somewhere else. Here we go. This is a case where it actually found her. So you can do a text search. Another way to do it is to go to the keywording panel here, the keyword list panel here. And if I expand this little triangle here, I get options for all, people, and other. These are new types of keywords. All keywords contain every single type of keyword. People keywords contain only those keywords that you have added using the people tool. Now, in this case, the Chelsea keyword had been tagged on some pictures outside of the people tool. So it will still appear here. As long as you've added a keyword using the people tool, it becomes a people keyword. Even if you've added regular keywords with the exact same spelling, those will now be considered people keywords too. So every keyword is not a person keyword or a people keyword, if that makes sense. Other are all the keywords that are not people keywords, like, you know, panorama or HDR. Now, you might see keywords in other that are actually people keywords. If you want to convert a keyword to a people keyword, you can right-click it and then click Convert Keywords to Person Keywords. So now that was Melissa. When I go back to the people thing here, I can see Melissa is now a people keyword. If you double-click on a keyword, you get the chance to add synonyms. So I could, for example, add nicknames like Mel. And now if I search for just Mel, Melissa would come up. This is really useful. Like, we often call my daughter Madeline or Mad or Maddie. So I could add those 2 synonyms in here. And that way, in the future, whenever I search for any one of those things, all of them will come up. One of the things you'll have to do if you start using face detection is go through and kind of double check it and make sure that some faces haven't been incorrectly tagged, because I don't know how, but as I'm adding faces, I always find that some faces just get incorrectly tagged. I think you might accidentally click things when you are going through hundreds of pictures. I'll show you how to quickly change those tags. Let's jump back into the people view up here, and we'll go into the named people. First I need to remove the filter there because it was looking only at the pictures that I had visible in the film strip. So I'm switching back to the all photographs group with no filters enabled, and then I'll switch back to the people view, and now I can see all the rest of those names. So these are actually all Madeline, but just for example, let's say I actually accidentally tagged my niece there as Madeline. Jumping back to the people view, I could browse this particular name, and now is the time when I would want to double check and make sure that they were all actually her, because if you start tagging incorrect faces, then Lightroom will think that's what Madeline's face looks like, and as you can see, it's now started suggesting Maya for pictures of Madeline because it thinks this is also what Madeline looks like. So I need to change this. To remove somebody's face, double click on it to open up the actual picture, and now you can either retype the proper name up here, Maya, or you could click this little X to completely remove the face tag. So now as I jump back into the person view, you can see that picture has been removed, and many of the incorrect suggestions have gone away. There's still plenty of incorrect suggestions, but the proportion is better. So double check the pictures that you tag of people and make sure there aren't any incorrect faces in there to improve the accuracy of it. Overall, face detection is a useful, if not perfect, feature. If you're careful and make sure that you tag faces correctly, the suggestions will start to get accurate enough that it can really save you some time. If you're a little sloppy about it and you let some incorrectly tagged photos through, then the suggestions are going to be incredibly inaccurate and it might end up getting frustrating for you. Either way, it's probably still faster than trying to tag your pictures manually, and once you do have those faces tagged, finding them in the future is going to be so much easier, and you're really going to get more life out of your photos. I hope you enjoyed this video lesson. Also check the corresponding chapter 6 in my Lightroom book, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write me an email at tony@northrup.org. Thanks.